Hey guys, good morning and thanks for joining. So let's start for where we stopped. So in the last class we discussed about data protection and encryption, and also we discussed about network and infrastructure security, and also we discussed about compliance and governance. So last topic in our AWS services related to security is security automation management. Under this one, we do have the total 3 security services. Once this one is going to complete, thereafter, I will go and I will discuss about GCP services. So let's start now. Security automation and management. So actually somewhere a number I given wrong. This one is 21, total 24 only. This one is 21, yeah. So security automation and management. So under that one, first one is AWS system manager. So what this AWS system manager it will do? It is already showing that it's automation management. It will automate operational and also security tasks. So for example, maybe if you want to do anything automatic related instant response or alerts trigger notifications in the guard duty or maybe in the security hub. So those places we can use these AWS system manager. Not only on that one, anywhere automation is required, those places we can use these AWS system manager to make sure that, so instead of the going and doing the manual way, so we can go and we can identify everything through automatic way. So for example, as I said, maybe security orchestration or automated response, but AWS Guardduty is not supporting security orchestration, but automated response it will take care. So nothing but alert will be triggered based on the conditions or logics or algorithms and flows. That is also we can call it the automation only. So that is the importance of the AWS System Manager security related service. It will automate operational and security tasks. So that is the importance of the our AWS System Manager. Next one is AWS Service Catalog. Sorry, this one is 22, 23. Yeah, that's correct only, guys. Sorry. So 24. Next one, AWS Service Catalog. So what is this AWS Service Catalog? It will do. It will manage approved AWS resources for compliances side. What are compliances we are following? It will approve that one, and finally it will make it like a catalog. So that is called AWS Service Catalog. It will manage approved AWS services or resources for compliance side. So that is about our AWS Service Catalog. Last one is AWS Inspector. Enter a question. This one. So what is this AWS Inspector? So it is like a scanner. It is a scanner in the Amazon Web Services environment. It is like an SS or Qualys or Rapid7 or Nexus or Nexpose and so on. In the same way, even we do have our AWS Inspector dedicatedly. It will scan the workloads or resources or virtual machines or EC2 instances, whatever we configured for our work purpose or task purpose. So then it will scan those workloads and finally it will identify the vulnerabilities and we have to fix those vulnerabilities. So that is called AWS Inspector. In the Azure side, so there is no scanner, dedicated scanner. Once you are enabling the CSPM, I already told yesterday itself, Cloud Security Posture Management, part of our CNAPP, Cloud Network Application Protection Plan. If you are enabling that one, in default, sorry, within that default feature itself, one of the component name is called CSPM, Cloud Security Posture Management. So Cloud Security Posture Management also it will scan and it will identify what all the vulnerabilities are existing related to containers and Docker and virtual machines and so on. So CSPM is equivalent to AWS Inspector in the Azure side. So coming back here, AWS System Manager. So this is like a SOAR capability in the Azure side. Nothing but Sentinel. So AWS Service Catalog, this one is called as Ledger, Confidence Ledger. So this is like CSPM, Cloud Security Posture Management. It's one of the feature under the CNAPP. So now what exactly AWS Inspector will do? It will scan the resources in the AWS environment. And finally, it will identify the vulnerabilities. Okay, so that's all about overall. Okay, sorry guys. Yeah, so once the vulnerability is identified, then what we have to do? We have to go and we have to fix those vulnerabilities by speaking with the respective stakeholder. But please, God. Sorry for inconvenience. Am I audible?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so now one thing you have to remember, whenever if you want to fix any vulnerabilities in the AWS environment, especially in the either you are using public cloud or private cloud or multi-cloud, please remember we have to take one of the VAPT template. VAPT template, one of the form will be there. We have to fix that form. Whatever EC2 instances you are scanning, that information you have to provide along with the, so whether it is a large EC2 instance, whether it is a high or medium or pico or nano. So total there are 5 different types of EC2 instances types. So those is EC2 instances information, EC2 instance ID number, and also whether it is a large or medium or low or pico or nano. You have to provide that information. Even you have to provide the IP address of the EC2 instance ID also. Okay, so VAPT template we have to fill and we have to send the template to Amazon's support team. So finally, they will take 48 hours. They will validate. So in case is there any issues is going to happen to other customers. So like scanning is long, no, it's a, because it's a production environment, correct? So we should not go and we should not do the production environment related EC2 instances. Maybe attacker will try to compromise something from this particular EC2 instances. Maybe DOS and DDoS category of the attack, it will go and it will happen to other customers also. That is the reason. What is the precaution we have to remember? We have to fill the VAPT template. That VAPT template, whatever instances you are configuring, so or whatever instances you are doing the scanning part, that scanning information you have to provide. So then finally you have to send an email or we have to submit that one through portal also from the support portal. Then AWS technical support team, they can go and they can validate. So whether customer can go and can do the scanning of these EC2 instance or not. So in case if they are providing the, okay, you can go and you can do the scanning part, then we can go and we can do it. What are the different types EC2 instances we do have? It's like virtual machines. One is large, medium, low, nano, pico. So when once, sorry, nano and pico. So these are the different types of the category of these EC2 instances. Now, once you are filling the template, what Amazon team will do, nano pico related things, they will say like, don't do the scanning because it's a very, very smaller bandwidth, smaller. Okay, so configuration, I mean, memory, RAM and CPU and so on. That is the reason they will say, warning, please don't do the scanning for nano and pico related instances. You can do the scanning for large, medium and low. So then each and every EC2 instance, you have to provide instance ID. All these. Then here we have to provide IP address of the instance also. Okay. But if it's a private cloud, we no need to ask anything. If it's a private cloud and it's dedicated to us, we no need to ask anything. But only for hybrid and public cloud cases only we have to ask this one. So that is the note. So now, as I said, so when I ran this scan several times, they used to say, please ignore these two. Okay, it's a dangerous because attacker maybe more chances are there, availability issues, configuration availability related issues. So that is the reason they will say don't scan those instances. So that is about overall AWS security services. AWS security services are total 6. So identity and access management, threat detection and monitoring part, data protection and encryption, network and infrastructure security, configuration and compliance and governance, sorry, security automation management. So far we completed Amazon and so far we completed Azure. Let's go and discuss about GCP. So as I said, please compare with one cloud service provider with the another cloud service provider. Under GCP, we do have total 35 overall. Okay, so services. But what Google has done, Google did not done the categorization part. So
Sir,
example is, yeah,
I
please.
have a doubt in in AWS instructor.
Mm,
So cloud findings we are like cloud vulnerabilities we are finding, right? So
mm.
for that one we can use that like third party tool like Nexus College Service.
Yes, it's a good question. Yeah, thanks for asking. Yes, you are right. So in my ex company, we used AWS Inspector because we don't have sufficient budget or money to purchase a third party tool. So in my previous company only, so then what we have done, we purchased Nessus tool. Yes, we can run the scan for even third party tool also. So that is called BYOL, bring your own license. Any security service you can take, Nagarjuna. So basically either we can use native services of the our cloud service provider, or else we can go and we can purchase the third party also. For your question, yes, it is possible via through Nessus or Qualys or Nexus or Rapid7. Yes, we can go and we can purchase the tool as a BYOL and we can run the scan for these EC2 instances. But before doing that, as I said, we have to fill the VAPT template. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So next one is Google Cloud, GCP. So as I said, how the Azure from Microsoft, AWS from Amazon. So they have done the categorization part. So here Google did not do any categorization. So everything like 35 services, we have to learn it. That's it. So categorization, they did not do it. Let's go and discuss about those services now. So just go to Google products. Or Google security services. Directly I will go to security services. Not this one. Yeah, you can go here, and after that you can click on products, similar to like same as it is what we discussed under the Microsoft Azure, and also even in the Amazon side also. Then you can register here, start free, and you can give the credit card information. Then you can register that one as it is. Click on products, and you can see these feature products. Just you can compare. Almost all the cloud service providers will do same as it is. Now, fortunately, Google is increased security features. Fortunately, so when I was seeing about, I think 1 or 2 years back, so total overall security services are only 13. From 13 to they increased to 35 services. Within the 2 years time span, they developed additionally 22 services dedicated to security. Maybe in future it will give lot of competition to maybe Azure also. Let's see. So under the feature and product side, same machine learning and artificial intelligence, business intelligence, computing part, containers and data analytics, or data science and databases, developer tools, distributed cloud, hybrid and multi-cloud, and so on. Our part is security and identity. Okay. So same thing, whatever in the Amazon, they will call it security and also encryption and identity management. Here we can call security and identity. Once you are clicking on this one, then these are the security services. So there is no categorization here. That's what I said previously. So just all these services are 35. So you should know about so each and every security service name and what exactly it will do. So that is more than to crack the interview for even Google Cloud also dedicatedly. Okay, that's why I said only terminology it will change or acronym will change. Otherwise, backend concept for each and every tool, that may be SIM tool or that may be EDR, that may firewalls or proxies, even cloud environment also same as it is. It will not change anything, that concept. Okay, let's go and discuss about all these products. These it is showing only here now 12, but click on here, see all security and identity products. Once you are going here, then you can identify all those 35 services or products. Okay. So these are all the security related products. Let's go and discuss about all these now. So by the way, SIM tool name is changed. So SIM tool name is changed from Chronicle. So in the Google Cloud, we will call it as a Chronicle SIM tool name. In the Azure, we will call it Azure Sentinel. In the Amazon, we can call it as a Guard Duty or Security Hub. But in the Google, we can call it as a Google Security Operations. So name is changed from Google Chronicle to Google Security Operations. Okay. So let's go and discuss about all those services now. So as I said, there is no categorization part. So I will explain one by one. First one is fraud prevention platform. So what this fraud prevention platform it will do? So it's a fraud. So attacker or maybe malicious hackers or intruders or threat actors, what exactly they will do in the enterprise level or capture or recapture related part. So this one we can call it as a recapture enterprise also. So in this scenario, whenever attacker is trying to do the fraud part, so it will prevent those fraud related issues, or it will help to protect your websites from the fraudulent or fraud related issues. So that is called fraud prevention platform side. Okay. So by default, it is we have to enable in case we are using any websites or any application deployment in the Google Cloud Platform once we are deploying the application or migrating from on-premise to cloud environment. Okay, so that is the importance of our fraud prevention platform. Helping to protect our websites from fraud activity, spamming attacker will do, or abusing he will do it. So that is called fraud prevention platform. So this is the first one. So what is the second one now? So second one is SecOps platform. So otherwise I can provide that name also. I can move it here from here. So this is called reCAPTCHA protection. Second one is SecOps platform. So in the SecOps platform, what exactly mean by this one? It's a SIM tool basically. So it's a SIM tool. So as I said previously, this name is called as our Chronicle, legacy name or old name. And currently we can call it as Google Security Operations. So I'll keep both Chronicle or Google Security Operations. So you know what is Google Security Operations it will do, or what is SIM tool it will do. So this obviously it will do the log collection, log analysis, log processing, and finally it will do the detection and investigation, and also finally response, but it will not do the blocking part. Okay, so that is called our Google Security Operations Center or Google Security Operations. Okay, so it's a native service similar to like whatever Amazon Guard Duty or Security Hub or Azure Sentinel side, almost equivalent to. Compare these things whenever we are going and discussing about services part. So cloud native of threat detection and also investigation and finally response. So I will give the comparison also because it's an important feature. That is the reason. Azure Sentinel, in case if it is Azure from Microsoft, or if it is Amazon, we can call it as a Guard Duty or Security Hub. So that is about the SecOps platform or Google Security Operation. So next one, sensitive data management. Third one. So whatever data that is PA data or maybe PHA data or any confidential data. So especially on the Google related resources where we are deploying or virtual machines, here also we can go virtual machines we are creating. So secrets, it's like a secrets manager. Similar to like whatever we discussed about AWS Secrets Manager, AWS Key Management System, KMS, and also we discussed about AWS Key Vault. So those three, if we're comparing with the other cloud service providers. So Secrets Manager or Secret Manager. So obviously what it will do, it will do the storing of the keys, API keys or passwords or, okay, so secrets, certificates and so on. Secret Manager. It will store API keys and also certificates and also passwords, secrets, So those things can be extra, can be taken care of by secret manager. So as I said, if you are comparing this one with the our Amazon and Azure side, this is called as Azure Key Vault. And this one we can call it as AWS Secret Manager and also AWS Key Management System, KMS. This one entire question, guys. It's very, very important. So these two I'll keep in yellow color. So dedicatedly recently TCS is uh, opened the one of the vacancy related to Google security operations only. Dedicatedly. One of the person they need deployment of the Google SecOps tool from the scratch. So nothing but sending the logs through data connectors or log collectors, and also creating the correlation rules, and also assigning the IP address to Google SecOps SIM tool as a chronicle, subnet mask, Active Directory integration, similar to like whatever we discussed. So under the our SIM tool related to IBM QRadar, Splunk, and so on, right? Same concept here also, but only one thing here it is difference. So collection is different, and also tool deployment is dedicatedly in the Google Cloud. That is the only difference. There, whatever we discussed about, so our IBM QRadar, Splunk, or Exabeam, and so on, everything it's like on-premise hardware deployment, or on top of the server we can deploy. That's called so software as a deployment, and finally cloud deployment also. But Google SecOps or security operations can be deployed in the Google Cloud platform only, GCP platform. That is the only difference. Otherwise, backend process, implementation, assigning the IP address, so then subnet mask, integrating the primary DNS and secondary DNS and Active Directory integration, integrating the SMTP server to receive the notifications. Okay, so then log collection from the different types of log sources. Okay, so using the here we can say log collector, basically same thing, data collectors. So that will collect it from the directly Google Cloud related resources and also from third party. When it's a third party, other resources that may be on premise, that may be in the other multi cloud environments like Amazon or maybe Azure side. So then after collecting the logs, then it you know about collection, processing, then correlation rules we have to create. By default, couple of correlation rules it will provide. Then we have to do the playbooks configuration and everything. So once you are configuring, then alerts will be triggered. Okay. So that's what I said. If you know about theoretical, I mean, sorry, on-premise endpoint, network, and application, cyber, and also information security related domains, those things we have to apply to cloud. But here, whatever we are doing, everything like a in the cloud related platforms, and we have to apply same concept whatever we are discussing under the on-premise side. That's it. That is the only difference. So next one, identity and access management. This is called IAM. Identity and access management. So this one name is called Cloud IAM in the Google side. So you know about what is identity and management. It will give the permission management and also uh, what is the role-based access control we have to define in the Google Cloud platform. Permissions, and also it will provide about the what is the role-based access control and segregation of duties according to whoever is trying to access the Google services or resources, maybe DevOps or TechOps or SecOps or machine learning or artificial intelligence. So everybody in the whoever is required basically to access those services or resources or applications, it is deployed in the cloud environment of the GCP. Okay, so that one we can call it as a cloud IAM. Permissions management and defining the role-based access controls for Google Cloud resources. So based on the RBAC, based on the segregation of duties. So this one in the Azure side, what we can call it as Azure Entra ID. So it has a integration with Azure Active Directory. So in the Azure side, we cannot say Azure Active Directories. Yeah, in the Azure side, identity management, we can call it as Azure Entra ID. So that is the one. In the Amazon side, we can call it as a directly Amazon Identity and Access Management. Yesterday already we have seen. So this one also one of the interview question. Okay, next service. Unified Endpoint Management. So what exactly to look? Identity of the person. Identity of the person can be used under this one. So it name itself, it is saying that unified endpoints management. So based on the endpoint side. So what is the identity of the endpoint? So it will provide about the IT admins information, and also it will provide about the users information, what is their identity and how they are trying to access. All those things can be provided by our Google identity endpoint management. That is also called as identity. Unified platform for IT admins to manage user information, devices, and apps. So that is identity. So this is same thing. It will not change. It's an inbuilt feature. So separately they created this one, part of the our Google. So next one, cybersecurity platform. So what is cybersecurity platform? It's a security command center. It's like our SOC room. So what they have done, so dedicatedly they created one of the command center. This resource we can use and to get the notifications. And also if you want to do any, okay, so depending of the against threats and also from the attacks. Okay, it's a integration with the cybersecurity platform command center is integrated with the Chronicle part. Then regularly alerts we can receive. This is called command center. Security command center. So it's a platform. Why we can use it? We can use it for the depending of the threats. It can be used for depending of threats or attacks to our Google Cloud resources or assets. When you say assets, not only just about virtual machines, whatever we are configuring, it's for databases, servers, and also web servers, Unix or Linux or Windows, whatever virtual machines we are configuring. In the similar way, applications, whatever we are deploying in the Google Cloud platform, and everything basically totally end to end. So this one, if you are comparing with the our Azure and also Amazon Web Services, so same as it is, it will not change. Azure Sentinel and also Guard Duty. So that is the cyber security platform. Next one is security key platform or security key. So this is called Titan security key. So what the security key it will do? It for multi-factor authentication, two-factor authentication for device. How we are using right now for the most of the case we are using Microsoft related multi-factor authentication, correct? So to receive the OTP or maybe biometric and entering the number and everything. So in the Google Cloud platform, if you are using, we can call it as a Titan security key. So why we can use this is mainly for the two-factor or multi-factor authentication device for user account or user access. Multi-factor authentication or two-factor authentication for user account protection from the brute force or from the password spray, from the pass the hash, from the rainbow table attack, from the dictionary attack, and so on. So this one, same as it is, we can call it a MFA. So multi-factor authentication. This also called as a Azure Entra ID. So Azure Entra ID security, Azure Entra ID security, Azure Azure Entra ID security. There are so many services under the Azure ID security. We do have the identity protection. We do have the multi-factor authentication. We do the security center. We do have the risk detection. We do have the secure score. Hope you remember whatever we discussed under the Azure Entra ID security is one of the very, very important feature in the Azure side. So this one in the Google side, what we can call it as multi-factor authentication. Sorry, Amazon side we can call multi-factor authentication only. There is no name change. Next one is web application firewall, WAF. So previously Google doesn't have the web application firewall. In 2021, as I said, so within these 3 years time lapse, they created so many services related to security. So I'm guessing it will give a lot of competition in future to Azure, especially on the security prospect, not about other deployments. I'm speaking about only so security related services. Okay. But here also in the Google security operations also it is lagging factors are there. But let's see how it will go, whether it will give competition to Azure Sentinel or not. So web application firewall. So this one is called as already, I think in couple of job description, you will see regularly this name that is called Cloud Armor. In couple of job descriptions, you will see Cloud Armor or Armor. That means what? So Cloud Armor meaning here in the Google side, we can call it a web application firewall. Okay. So you should know about these names also. Okay. Similar to like Azure and also Amazon. So Cloud Armor is equivalent to web application firewall. So obviously, you know about what exactly this one it will do. It will prevent and block and detect and monitor WASP top 10 and also SANS top 25 attacks. That is also called as layer 7 attack or application layer attacks. It will detect, monitor, prevent or block and identify sorry, WASP top 10 or SANS top 25 attacks. So that is the importance of the Cloud Armor. Enter a question this one also. So this one, if you are comparing with the Azure and also Amazon Web Services, we can call it a Azure firewall under the data and also application security. That is the category. So here Azure Web Application, Azure WAF. And here also we can call it as Amazon WAF. Previously, actually Azure doesn't have the Azure WAF. They have application gateway only. So later they developed the even Azure WAF also. In the application gateway itself, like a load balancer, they added couple of features to blocking of the web application related issues. So or security related issues that is belongs to WASP top 10. But a lot of customers are given complaint to Microsoft companies stating that so application gateway, what are you developed as a load balancer combination with the WAF capability, it is not sufficient to block all WASP top 10 category of the attacks. Then Microsoft company dedicatedly what they have done with the product development team. So they designed dedicated web application firewall. Okay. So that is about web application firewall. Next one, encryption key management. So what this encryption key management will do, it will manage encryption keys on Google Cloud. Okay, whatever encrypted keys we are using. So previously, whatever we discussed, those are all API keys. That is called secret manager. So secret manager, it will do, and it will prevent only API keys, certificates, passwords, secrets. But this one is encrypted keys. That is the difference. Manage encryption keys on Google Cloud. So this one, if you're comparing, Azure doesn't have the dedicated encryption key management system. So this is called as Azure Key Vault only. And so on the Amazon side, we can call it as a Azure Secrets Manager, or we can call it as KMS, Key Management System. So that is about encryption key management. Next one is identity and access management. Already we discussed, but here identity and access management protection. Identity and access management protection platform. It's for identity protection. So whenever any attacker, they are trying to do the hacking on user identity, so this identity protection will provide blocking of those attacks. So for example, maybe a respective DevOps team or application teams, other teams, they are trying to use resources or apps in the Google Cloud. So in that scenario, on behalf of the end user, attack is trying to do the hacking part, like a spoofing kind of thing. Then this particular identity access management protection will block it. So that is mean by this one. So this one is almost equivalent to Azure Entra ID protection or security. Similar to like how the Azure has done. Same way, dedicatedly this one also, they created additional layer of the control, because identity and access management is very, very important. It will prevent and add access management related issues. So this one we can call it as Azure Entra ID security. So in the Amazon, they don't have separate, everything they included and they developed is one of the product only. That is called AWS IAM, Identity and Access Management. There itself, they created, we can create group policies, and also we can create group permissions. We can provide identity permission. We can provide access and secret key. One product itself, they created multiple, this is the way how they developed. So multiple features in the Amazon Web Services side. But what Azure has done, they created different features for the identity and access management, and also protection side is Entra ID security. Similar way as it is for identity access management, giving the role-based access control, it's mainly for the Google IAM. And here identity, dedicated identity protection, we can use our identity access management protection, or that is also called identity protection. Next one is threat visibility. So what this threat visibility, we can call it as, already this one we can compare with, any guess? What is threat visibility? Can you guess?
Threat detection.
CSPM.
Threat intelligence platform. Threat intelligence. Not CSPM, sorry. Not CSPM.
Threat
Threat intelligence.
detection.
Yeah. Regular updates. Malicious IP address. Malicious malwares. Malicious URL links. Malicious hash values. Everything it will come, right? That is called threat intelligence platform, or Google threat intelligence, we can call it as. So you know already what this threat intelligence, to access latest intels or intelligence from the what's happening all over the worldwide. Okay. So those things it will go and it will identify and it will give malicious IP address, malicious URL links, malicious domains, malicious hash values, malicious MAC addresses, and so on. So it's like a threat intelligence. So we discussed in the McAfee SIM tool, McAfee GTI, Global Threat Intelligence. In the IBM QRadar, we can call it IBM Exports. In the Splunk, we can call it Splunk Global Threat Intelligence. In the logarithm, we can call logarithm threat intelligence or global threat intelligence. In the Exabeam, we can call Exabeam Global Threat Intelligence. In the open source tool side, we can call OSINT, Open Source Intelligence. Similarly equivalent to threat intelligence, also same as it is. It will provide about regular. We have commercial threat intelligence feeds also. I give you an Mandiant and also GDK and SDK. There are so many vendors are available. Mandiant is right now number one. It's a commercial feed. It will give regular latest threat intelligence like threat intelligence identifier like malicious IP addresses, domain names, hash values. Then it will provide URL links extra. So that is called threat intelligence. So in the Azure side, they have Azure threat intelligence by default. In the Azure Sentinel side, in the guard duty also we can use threat that is called Amazon threat intelligence. So next one, context aware access. Don't get confusion, guys, because I worked on practically all these. So for me, it is easy. So, but you should do the hard work. You should go and you should do the practice and do create a free trial and practice it. And then only you can remember. Otherwise, it's very difficult and you'll get a lot of confusion because I am discussing about not only one cloud service provider, cloud security services, because we are discussing about multiple cloud security services. It will take some time to memorize all these. And also, if you, that is the reason, don't memorize. You can go and you can practice it by providing the or by creating the account because every cloud service provider is giving the free trial access to create cloud environment and to access all these features or security services. It's a free of cost for $1 or $2. That $1 and $2 also they will revert back within a month. Okay. So what this one is called as identity aware proxy. You know already now it will act like a proxy server in between any applications or websites or virtual machines. Our forward and reverse proxy almost equivalent to that one. So here it will use identity and also context to access to our applications and virtual machines. Okay, so this one it will act as a proxy. Use identity and context to guard access to our applications and virtual machines. Okay, so that is like a proxy server. It will act as a gate or bridge in between our identity of the user to applications and virtual machines. So that is called as identity aware proxy. Okay, so this one actually they don't have the dedicated proxy tool in the Azure side, but whatever they implemented, so part of our I can say Amazon Azure application gateway. Here itself proxy capability also there along with load balancer capability. Okay, but in future maybe they will develop dedicated proxy server or dedicated proxy service. Let's see. So Azure application gateway here Amazon doesn't have that one. Amazon firewall, it will act as a proxy. Okay, AWS firewall. Here also I can keep Azure application gateway and also Azure firewall. Both. So, and these are what are the important one here? Web application firewall, this one, Cloud Armor. I'm seeing regularly Cloud Armor in most of the job descriptions. And key management system and identity protection. Next one is yeah, proxy. So let's go and discuss about next one. Workload control. So what this workload control will do is a issued workloads. This is called as what are compliances we are following, security controls we are implementing for sensitive data. So these workloads feature, it can go on, it will take a controlling of the those workloads by wherever sensitive data is located, basically. Wherever the sensitive data is located, part of our workloads or resources or servers and databases and so on, it will do like a compliance and security controls for those workloads. So this is called as, anyone can guess it, what is this one is called as in Azure? What is this one is called as in Azure?
CWTP.
Excellent, CWPP, that's correct, yeah. Compliance and security controls for sensitive workloads. So this one is CWPP. Yes, whatever Nagarjuna said, that's absolutely right. And in the Amazon, any idea? In the Amazon, what we can call it as workload protection. Is there any feature is deployed in the Amazon side for dedicated to this one?
AWS compliance manager.
Yes, AWS complaints. That's correct. So that is about workload controls. Next one is cybersecurity consulting. Consulting means don't think like a human here. So whatever consulting it is doing by Google Cloud itself as security service. Cybersecurity consulting. This one is called as Mandiant Consulting Service. So why we can use this cybersecurity consulting service as a security control or security service? It will mitigate cyber threats and also it will reduce the business risk. That's why it is called consulting. It will reduce the business risk with the respective whatever applications. And also by coordinating, it's not like only service we have to enable. We have to speak with the Google experts also. So dedicatedly for that one, they recruited a couple of Google tech support team. So whoever is expertise in these Google security services part. So we can enable this one, and if we have any queries, then we can go and we can consult them and we can resolve the issues like a tech support kind of thing. Okay. Mitigate cyber threats and reduce business risk with the help of which team? Our frontline experts are experts. So that is the consulting. For the Amazon side, there is no services defined, but we can contact support team. Is your support team by raising a ticket? Amazon support team. Next one is network management. So under the network management, this is basically for equivalent to VNet, virtual network, virtual net, whatever we are configuring. And the network access controls and security groups we discussed in the Amazon Web Services side. In the Azure side, we discussed about firewall itself. It will act as a both network access controllers and security groups. So, but what Amazon and what Google has done, dedicatedly they created one of the service control for networking side. So in the Amazon side, we can call NACL and also the security groups. And in the AWS side, in the Google side, we can call it as network management, that is called VPC service controls. Sorry, guys. Here. So what it will do, it will do the protect, it will protect or it will detect sensitive data in the Google Cloud. And also it can be used mainly for the, to detect all those where the virtual private circuits are configured. So in the perimeter side, so because these virtual private circuits and firewalls, next generation firewalls where we can keep under the perimeter side as per network architecture diagram. Web application firewall from, then we can keep next generation firewall under load balancer, then VNet, or we can say network management. In the perimeter side, in case maybe firewall is bypassing, or maybe our proxy is bypassing, then at least this particular service, it can go and it can block all those attacks. Then we have IDS IPS also, that is another feature. Protective sensitive data. In Google Cloud using security perimeter solution. So this one in our Azure side, we can call it as, any guess? Any guess? Azure application gateway itself, we can use this particular option, and firewall also. Once again, under this one, we have so many load balancers. There are 4 different types of load balancer. One is called front end. Okay, second one is called load balancer. So third one is called traffic manager. Okay, fourth one is called application gateway. Application gateway mainly for the load balancing side is HTTP and HTTPS traffic. Load balancer is for the network level traffic load balancing. And the traffic manager is mainly for the our DNS related load balancing. And the next one is application gateway. As I said already, application gateway is for HTTP and HTTPS traffic. Front end also, that is for global and also regional. Application gateway, it's for regional, wherever subscription we are creating. But front end is for multiple regions. That is the only difference. Front end load balancer, application gateway load balancer. Next one is a traffic load balancer, normal load balancer. Those 4 are Azure side. So there itself, this option also available. So in the Azure side, we can call this one as a Azure firewall. Last one, intrusion detection. Not last one. For today class, the last feature, intrusion detection. This one is cloud IDS. So whatever it happen in the, okay, so in the Google Cloud platform, whenever any abnormal or malicious or suspicious activity will happen, it will detect, but it will not block those attacks. Let's see whether they will develop in the future IPS. It will detect whenever any abnormal or malicious or suspicious activity is happening in the Google Cloud, and it will alert it, but it will not block. Similar to like what we discussed on the, on-premise. This one, if you're comparing with Azure side, Azure firewall inbuilt feature, but it is not that much great as compared with our next generation firewalls or dedicated IDS IPS solution. Maybe let's see whether Azure and Amazon, they will focus on the IDS IPS also. Azure firewall and Amazon firewall. Sorry, here AWS firewall. So here also AWS firewall inbuilt. So they don't have IDS IPS yet. That is the drawback. That's why most of the customers, what they will do, instead of going and choosing the AWS firewall or Amazon firewall or Google firewall, they'll go with the third party. I mean Palo Alto or FortiGate, or maybe Sophos or CyberRkm or WatchGuard and so on. Okay. When I was working on for one of the project migration from on-premise to cloud environment, I used to do the solution designing also. I validated Amazon, Azure, and GCP related IDS IPS, but that time, this is around 2018. So 2018, when I was working in X company, so that time I was working as a security architect for one of the project. So for that project, so when I was validating, unfortunately, in 2018, all these services are not there at all. So that time, security also for cloud environment is very, very less. In the span of the 6 years time period, they increased a lot. Okay. So then what I suggested for that one, I suggested Palo Alto firewall by validating with other as a BYOL, bring your own license, because Azure firewall and Amazon firewall doesn't have that much capability in 2018. So I suggested Palo Alto, and finally we deployed BYOL as a Palo Alto firewall for that particular migration of the application from on-premise to Amazon cloud environment. Okay. So that's all for today. We'll continue from tomorrow. So tomorrow, what are pending related services are there? Those things we can discuss. Sai Karthik, you asked about yesterday one of the question, right? So that one also, if time permits, I will discuss tomorrow. Otherwise, I will discuss day after tomorrow.
Yeah, okay, sir. I go through that all recall.
Yeah, you forgot, right? Now it's clear, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Any questions do you have?
No, no, sir.
What about others?
So GCP is throwing this many services. Why it is not giving competition to AWS and Azure?
Yeah, that is a problem here is GCP deployments are all over the world wide are very less. That is one of the reason. So second reason is because of customers are less all over the world wide, market capture is also very less. That is the reason they are not focusing on these security services side. In case in future customers they are adopting as a GCP instead of the Amazon or Oracle or maybe Azure, then yes, obviously they will focus on GCP security services also. That's what my guess. Maybe with the downtime and maybe another 2 to 3 years, once the marketplace is capturing, it is giving competition to the Azure and Oracle and also our Amazon. So obviously, even our Google also will focus on security services. Is it clear?
Okay.
Yeah. So right now, Amazon is number one. I can say number two is Azure. Third one is Oracle, and fourth place I can give OCI. Sorry, GCP. Later, Alibaba. Anyway, in the India we cannot use. We can use, but most of the people will not use it. And IBM also we are not using that much, unless otherwise you are purchasing any products related from IBM side. Yeah. Okay, guys, that's all for today. Have a great day. And shall I take tomorrow class? Okay, so tomorrow night, I mean tomorrow morning. Okay. Mm, shall I take tomorrow evening also? I mean tomorrow evening means today evening. Sorry.
Okay.